Well met, lords and ladies, Jacob Butter speaking, and a warm welcome to this week's Walking Wednesday. I'm back! Yes, I know, I keep going around the same area, but can you blame me? I love seeing the lake. I love the open breeze. The heat I could do without, but there's shade around somewhere. Oh, I'll find it, it's okay. And also, I always wonder, in terms of whatever times I check in, it's like, oh well, it's fine, I'll just head down to Tilgate. Who likes going to the park? It's like, oh yeah, people like going to the park. The human race likes going to the park. And so, here we are. In fact, you can see some of the human race in there. So yeah, it seems like the rowing opportunities that I never took advantage of before are still open for business, which is good. That probably means that the Go Ape is actually open again. Although, who knows? We'll see. I haven't been to a Go Ape since 2015-16. Jeez. In fact, I remember actually I was gutted at one point when I was in Asturias and I wasn't actually allowed to go on the two highest levels of their version of Go Ape. It was just called the Pino Pino, which was from pine tree to pine tree. Doesn't sound as good in English. Yeah, because you had to be 15 to go on them. And I was 12 at the time. And then, last time that I was ever in any Go Ape form, I definitely was at least 15. But it wasn't the one in Asturias. So, it's always been an ambition of mine to go back someday. And and to go back someday and retread that path. Granted, we didn't have enough time to really do anything after the first 6 levels. There's 8 in total. But because we had to go, the place was closing right after. So on one hand, I could actually see what happened. But I don't know. Here's some shade. Anyway, enough about talking about years ago. Let's actually get on to what happened this week. So it wasn't as chaotic as last week, although I was definitely finishing up some of the projects that I'd had for ages, like that Piggy audition, for example, or what else did I have? Oh yeah, What If Piglet Had a Son Part 7 on the Butter Bunch. There's one other thing, but oh well, doesn't matter. Oh yeah, everything to do with the anniversary. Yes, pretty much. Oh wait, no, that was last week. What am I doing? Yeah, but I have another 3 projects now, basically. And then afterwards, I guess another one to really write for the Butter Bunch. Because I've realised that there's another anniversary coming up soon, and that is the anniversary of the Butter Bunch itself, which actually this time does coincide with our first ever upload. And not like on my main channel where it's just, several months later, and that's just where I happen to celebrate. Nope, August 16th is the day of inception. As you can tell by the fact that I actually have a video that's meant for another channel on there as the first result. Yeah, it seems bizarre now, because on one hand, we created the wildflowers because we thought, oh yeah, we're going to make this into, we're going to make this, when we're going to make a community channel, we're going to, have it hosted with somebody else, we're going to have 5 people here, and we're going to actually do stuff. And then it was only BB and I that actually did a video that wasn't our introductions, and then 3 of us left it and started the Butter Punch with Aiden. But yeah, it's interesting because we got 25 subscribers right off the bat because, you know, Lizzie had some major marketing pull. So on one hand, for a while I thought, wow, is this the right decision? Because we just ended up with, you know, less people in our we ended up with less people, less marketing, and we had 4 subscribers for about a while, and that was mostly our main channels. So it was like, oh yeah, we're gonna do these series, but no one's really watching us. You know, some people watch the What If Piccolo Had a Son Part 1, but then did they subscribe for more? Not until the Gacha video. It's interesting because rather than mirroring what happened with the Wildflowers, the Butter Bunch mirrors my own channel in certain ways. Like, for example, we've historically had only 3 videos ever top the #1 spot on the channel itself. And that's actually, that would be the first one, and then the recreating the Dragon Ball characters in Gacha Club, and then the What If Raditz and Nappa Turned Good. So that's where it is now. And on my main channel, I've also only ever had 3 videos, despite having some pretty big rises. Only 3 of them have ever topped the #1 spot. And, well, that's just because a lot of them came in too late. Because I'm sure that had I uploaded, you know, the Travis song, the Zayn song, any of the theories before Truth About Travis, they would have probably gotten there, because they had way more pull than just Pixelmon temporary update glitch, and especially Mario 63 episode 1, which of course was the first video I ever did. So again, mirrors. But yeah, it's one of those things. And even nowadays, the most popular Mario 63 episode isn't even the first one anymore. It's interesting because that means that video got picked up years later by people still playing the game, I guess. Which again made me excited for Mario 127, which I still haven't actually played. I don't know. I need to finish the Mario 63 playthrough, but also I do want to start that one. Maybe they will bleed over, because I sincerely hope that they'll do some more stuff with that and not just stay where it was at the time. I'm still in that Discord server, but I need to look back in it. Oh well. Again, I went very off topic. Supposed to talk about the week. Though there was more talk about Alpha Witch Academy, and I've actually finished 1 scene of that, which is interesting because I'm starting to think, maybe it's not as fast as I thought it was in terms of production. But afterwards I considered, wait a minute, yes it is, because at this point I started waiting for all the voice actors to get their stuff together and send everything over, and then it would take even longer to actually make the video. I just cut out part of the process. Even recording the narrator dialogue was pretty easy. So yeah, overall, I still think it's more efficient. Not necessarily better, but more efficient. I am surprised because, you know, even though it's got a fraction of the viewership of The Mutant Girl, it actually really took off in terms of interaction with people, which might be concerning, considering the Mutant Girl is now a legacy show, rather than For Witch Academy, which I've still really got to think of ideas for, actually. Because on one hand, I want there to be, because of the fact that you can do so much more with it, maybe make it a little bit more episodic than some of the other stuff that's going on. So I don't know, I have ideas for, like, an episode about ghosts, an episode about broom racing and stuff. I don't know. And on the other hand, there's still the serialized mystery of what happened to Erica. Which, again, I always say don't reveal too much too soon. Because I have had questions about Erica as well. Obviously, quite a few of them come from Aiden, because, why wouldn't they? I feel like he wants the scoop on pretty much everything. Even then, some people did actually jump on that document with me while I was writing the next episode. And no one stopped me when I decided to make it have 3 principles. It's gonna be interesting to do. But yeah, I've designed them all and stuff now. That's another thing, I'm still designing new characters for that series. And I feel like I will be doing that for quite some time. Getting some OC submissions, getting some extras. Because the scene has taken a long time, because I'm paying more attention to the details of it. By which I mean I'm having more extras. I'm trying to put a few effects in and stuff. That depends. I'm having a little bit more of a background go on. A bit of a bigger scope than the very small middle school that Morwenna attends and such. But obviously that's took it up. But then again, if I do that with a Mutant Girl, I'd be there for 8 million hours. Which I might have to put some crowd sound effects on there. Anyway, that's another thing I've also been doing. One of the other projects I was up to was helping Aiden with episode 9 of Fallen Angels. That's right, he's probably officially going to overtake me in terms of that, simply because, again, my voice actors need to get their stuff together. A few of them have sent their lines in already, and a lot of them were just like, oh, I've got stuff going on, which I get, but that was only several months ago, so I need to check in on them, make sure they haven't forgotten. I really don't know. But yeah, at least I've got something to entertain people while the wait goes on, and that's the plan. But yeah, who knows, it might not be as fast as people thought. But yeah, I'm apparently now the official sound designer, sound editor and score person for Fallen Angels. Because apparently I did so well in the remake, according to Aiden, that, and after all my years of complaining about actually what happened with the music and the choices that Aiden made, I guess he's like, well, you know what, you score it. And like a chump, I said, yeah, okay. Honestly, scoring something doesn't take too long necessarily, especially when you've got the amount of music that I have. But even now, I'm still selecting new tracks for the for Alpha Witch Academy. At least I tried to do. I remember they had a whole folder of Chris Geddes stuff. Which reminds me, as soon as this whole thing blows over, maybe I'll be able to actually get back to working on some Pixelmon videos. Play a little bit of catch up or something. Because a lot of the episodes going forward were just basically us training. Because Aiden and I talked about that too, actually. Well, we talked about a lot of shows that we haven't gotten round to because we've been working on way harder things to do. We talked about Sennekenor Season 2, we talked about Minecraft Adventures, and we talked about Pixelmon. Minecraft Adventures have to run by Emma and Caroline because I feel like... Because even though I have the footage from Emma of that recording that we did for episode 13, Aiden has lost the world now. And I'm going to encourage him to have a few less mods and maybe a bit more of, you know, like I said before, the new Nether, some 1.17 generation and stuff, because that's what people are really interested in now. On the other hand, he has a lot to do with realms. So I guess we'll have to find an excuse to do with that. It's like maybe the realm portal closes or something, I don't know. Not the realm portal, but the access to them. Maybe there's something to do with that. There's also the small matter of one of his cast departing, and also the whole betrayal arc that he's got going, which do not coincide, unfortunately, which would leave him pretty much with Luca, and that's it. And in terms of the scope of what Aiden was trying, maybe that's a good thing, actually. I don't know. I think maybe we could try and pair William with him, because William was going to have his own adventures and stuff. Maybe we should do a bit of a role reversal, because we find a village, then Aiden becomes like the leader of the nomadic group as such. So yeah, other ideas in mind, just so that he doesn't have to explain why he lost his entire base. Not like he built the whole thing himself anyway, because apparently there was some creative mode involved, but I don't know. As for Sennekenor Season 2, I've been talking about that one for a while, but that's a bit more of an issue, because we want to do something a bit more cinematic, but I also don't want to lose its roots and end up focusing too much on trying to get all the body actors involved and everything all the time, because at one point I'm going to run out of time in which to do that. Unless I outsource the directorial duties to someone else, like Aiden, for example, and he puts that together, and then I just edit it and score it and everything. Which, honestly, if I asked him to do that, he probably would. Well, poor guy, but I don't know. Actually, I'm scoring his videos. I might ask him. I'll see what he thinks. Because I don't know. I suppose he'll probably be either applying to university himself soon or not. I just haven't really asked about that. So yeah, I'll definitely have to have a conversation with the guy about more things. What's the other one we said we were going to do? Oh yeah, Pixelmon. Pixelmon is a lot easier because the world still exists and we're still able to finish it off. We didn't do what we did before in terms of finishing it, finishing the playthroughs en masse and then just releasing them almost a year later. That would have almost made sense to do. But I was so desperate for a break from that series at that point that I was just like, no. Because doing Pixelmon takes a lot out of me, and I don't think people actually really realize that. Because not only do I want to make the series, but I've also made sure that I expand the runtime, because that's what people requested, which meant more time trying to determine what music to put on there and make sure that's not repetitive, because 30 minutes is easier than 30 in that regard. And also editing out, well, what do I edit out, what do I keep in? Because I know that some people are way more ruthless than I am. But I like the whole journey to be catalogued. Because that's something that the Pokemon anime does a lot. Like, in the games, you can go from one city to another in pretty much one go, you know? You just go across route so-and-so, and suddenly you're there at What's It City, you know? And you don't get the sense of, well, journey a lot of the time. But yeah, because of the way that, you know, Pixelmon works, you have to grow your Pokemon a lot more than in the regular games, and they acknowledge that. And yes, maybe there's too much grinding involved for the likes of, you know, somebody trying to actually make a video, make a series and document everything. But yeah, I don't know, the balance is definitely not stuck with me all the time. I feel like somewhere between myself and Aiden, and actually also Emma, there's the perfect Pixelmon series waiting to happen. Like you actually have you know, some of Emma's meme editing, which I'm surprised is actually a style that she's really adopted, versus Aiden's ruthless cuts and my music. Unfortunately, we have too many perspectives to really work that in, because that's what's going on. I don't know. The only person not recording is BB. I don't want to put all the editing duties on him just because of that. So I don't know. It's whatever plan will basically be a little bit more relaxed. But yeah, I think I'm going to have to start outsourcing the editing, because I'm running out of time to actually prepare for university as well. Because, you know, August 16th is the middle of the month. So any preparation they want me to do, and just like, oh, well, I give myself half a month to do that. It's great, because that's what you want for the year that you said required the most effort. So I still don't know. I was like, I don't know if I can jump this and still hold the camera. Not worth the risk. I don't want to drop this and have one hand to support myself. Alright, off I go. Anyway, that's where we're at right now. You know, it's interesting. When I'm editing The Mutant Girl, I always feel like, oh, I need a break from this series, you know? And then when I actually have the voice actors not show up and do stuff, and I want to finish season 2 already, it's just like, well, yeah, but... Oh, there's a bridge here. I'm dumb. I was like, yeah, but I just want to finish this. Like, obviously I'm going to put effort into it when I can edit it, but I want to at least be able to start, for crying out loud. That's the problem, as I've always said with voice actor content. In fact, you know what, I actually lost a role because of that one time. Apparently I didn't give him my lines for Carlisle Biggs. And the recent episode of It's a Family Thing, we actually talked about that, and I was like, I don't know what happened. I mean, it makes sense that he would replace me because of that, but I'm not sure why. Just unfortunately, it happens a lot. Aiden was pretty smart in terms of limiting his casting and keeping the multiple roles, well, multiple. So, yeah, just as well. Because now almost everyone that used to be multiple role, after Natasha Nassib left, ended up being split amongst several people that just disappear off the face of the earth. I really don't know. Like, I haven't talked to the voice actor of Geneva in almost a year. Granted, she hasn't had anything to do in the series, but still, technically speaking, Alyssa Scott is still the official voice actor for Geneva. And of course, then there's the whole matter of Julius. Whenever he gives signs of life, I almost like I have to methodically always check my phone, and I always forget to check WhatsApp, and I get called out for it. But it's just like I do everything on Discord, and there's a reason for that, because most people are on Discord. You know, it's interesting because my mum used to say to me when I didn't use my phone a lot that everyone was on the phone now, especially the family, wanting to talk and stuff. And then as soon as I go to the place where I talk to the most people, it's the wrong place, apparently. Well, the wrong place. I can't win, basically. Although, to be honest, I feel like this is actually, now I'm saying all this out loud, maybe the issue isn't so much with voice-acted gachas, it's with long-running voice-acted gachas. Fallen Angels is an old show by gacha standards, but relatively new by the standards set by the Mutant Girl. So it makes me wonder if this is something that happens to a lot of people. Like, I imagine the more popular gacha tubers will have people who really want to keep their positions and everything, versus the ones that are doing it to help out a friend, which, by the way, I appreciate. It's just that, you know, you lot clearly live your lives and such. But I do wonder if ever any other, you know, voice acting gacha tubers will run into this problem eventually when trying to make their series and still keep it going, if they keep it going. Because, yeah, it's almost like, I don't know, I'm not beyond replacing people for roles. You know, I've done it for literally the entire cast except for Julius. But on the other hand, you have to find someone that sounds the parts as well. Like, it can't just be anyone, because then it sort of spoils the illusion. Unless you have an excuse like, you know, character hits puberty, therefore character sounds different, which is what I did in the case of Marwick. Which is weird, because, you know, that guy has, the voice actor of Marwick, G-Man, he has work that he does. So a lot of the time he misses out whenever I'm trying to, you know, speak to him casually or invite him to minigames and such, because he's working. But he still takes the time out of his day to actually send lines. It's interesting. The people that have jobs are the ones that actually turn stuff in relatively on time, which is pretty sad, all things considered. But I don't know. I just have to talk to more people, source more folk, because if Discord is where everyone is, then that is where I shall remain and where I shall find others. And I think that's where I'm at now, and that's what I'm going to do. The first thing that I will do is actually, when I get back, is look up some, actually no, the first thing I'm going to do is edit camera angles on Alphawitch Academy. But second thing I'm going to do when I get back is look at the list of people that I've got, compile their audio in a folder, and just get the show back on the road. And then maybe find a few Pixelmon videos, you know, here and there. Why not? We'll see. But for now, please leave a like or dislike, because your opinion matters, and subscribe if you've not done so already. And on that note, until next time, farewell.